Hey, it's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be building a squad builder of 100,000 MT in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Now this year, it's different than before, because before prices would fluctuate. And that's not to say that any prices won't drop here in the next couple of weeks, because 2K kind of has hinted that prices after a 3-week period could indeed drop. But this is the best 100K squad that I personally could come up with. A lot of these guys are grindable through the agendas as well. And so, you know, if you can grind out a Cam Whitmore, a Chris Paul, Jabari Smith Jr., that is going to make this squad even better. Again, this is just straight up buying, you know, 100K MT and not grinding, but just buying the players. And this is ultimately who I did come up with. We're going to start it off at the point guard position, and we're going to plug in Charlie Ward. Okay, so I'm going to plug in Mr. Charlie Ward right in here to the starting point guard position, and obviously the level up Emerald. Here's the deal, 5,200 MT. What does Charlie Ward bring to the table? He's only 6'2" with the 6'6" wingspan, but I'm telling you right now, his release is absolutely immaculate. If you have not used Charlie Ward, you're probably going to want to, because his release, again, is really, really solid. How to evo him 10 dunks, that's relatively easy to do. Go into, you know, whether it's triple threat on or triple threat offline, whether it is like a challenge game, you can get that done super, super, super easy. Good fade, great release, really just solid defensively as well. It doesn't get much better, in my opinion, than Charlie Ward at the starting point guard position. Starting shooting guard, no surprise here, Sapphire Mike Miller. If you know with Mike Miller, you know. There's really no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. This card's stats, his badges really don't even look that good. More so because of the defensive end of the court than anything. If you want to see how important hot spots, hot zones are, Mike Miller's the prime example. The more I look at his defense, guys, the more it's not even that bad outside of the lateral quickness. The 45 lateral quickness, though, is absolutely horrible. But he's basically a 6'8" pure sharp. That's what Mike Miller is. That's what he brings to the table. And honestly, guys, I'm a fan of what Mike Miller brings to the table in general. My starting shooting guard position. Starting small forward position, Emerald Matt Barnes. I've hyped this card up for literally since he's been released. Now, why do I personally like Matt Barnes? Well, I think with Matt Barnes, it all starts and ends with his release. His release, straight up and down, super quick, super easy to time, easy to read. Outside of that release, he doesn't bring much else to the table. He's decent at best defensively, not bad. But again, high three ball, great release, good in the catch and shoot situation. And that is all I need him to do on my court. Power forward position, a guy I'm going to spend a little while talking about, Jordan Walsh. Now, when I look at this squad so far, I don't think Charlie Ward is grindable. But Mike Miller, grindable. Matt Barnes, grindable. Jordan Walsh, grindable. You can get all of these cards for basically free. But here's the deal with Jordan Walsh. 6'7", 7'1" wingspan. Has a 74 3 ball that feels like a 90, even without any hot spots. Doesn't come with any shooting badges. But even if you just give him catch and shoot, not to say I'd recommend it, but you give him just catch and shoot, it's going to make him knock down way more shots than he already is. Defensively, absolutely elite as well. Now, his rebounding stats are bad, so playing him at the 4 does scare me a little bit. But I feel like his player model is more than enough to make up for it. Maybe I'm kind of gassing Jordan Walsh too much, but from what I've seen, I'm a massive fan of what he brings to the table. And at the starting center position, this should be no surprise to you guys. Emerald Rayfler, friends. Now, another card who is like, do I love the center position when we're talking about budget cards? Not really. There's not many great ones. But another card that can green a ton of shots. The reason I like this starting lineup so much is you can't leave Mike Miller. Great release, super quick. Matt Barnes, great release, super quick. Rafe, super quick. Jordan Walsh, not as quick, but probably the easiest one to green. Charlie Ward, another card. Fantastic release for Charlie Ward. So, I mean, I'm looking at this starting 5. And when we're talking about just releases specific, there's not one downside. Everybody has a great release. They all can knock down shots at a very high level. And the bigger thing here is, Mike Miller's not great defensively, neither is Rafe, but Matt Barnes can defend 1 through 4. Jordan Walsh, 1 through 4. Charlie Ward, again, is undersized, but he is going to hold it down for his respective position. You look at the starting lineup, you can grind it basically all for free outside of Rafe and Charlie Ward, or you can spend 44,000 MT and get it like that as well. Headline in the bench unit, we're plugging in Nick Van Exel, a guy who, I don't know. Do I love Nick Van Exel? The jury's still out on Nick Van Exel. I do like him. He is just really undersized, and I think that's the big problem with Nick Van Exel, right? Now, I'm gonna just spoil things, and I'm already gonna plug in the duo, okay? I'm not gonna waste time here. When I don't have to waste time, I'm not going to waste time. We're gonna plug James Posey in here because without the duo, these guys aren't that good. I still like James Posey without the duo. But with the duo, it makes Nick Van Exel literally so much better. Lateral quickness goes up 10. Perimeter goes up 15. Gets way better badges as well. I mean, this is really what makes Nick Van Exel good. Now again, James Posey, base card, I already like. Then you give him the duo. 3-ball goes up to an 88. The speed goes up to a 79. Defensively becomes an absolutely incredibly good defender. This is the duo that I picked up on my No Money Spent. I'm not currently running it, but as I'm looking at how good James Posey really becomes again, that's the reason you're running it. You're not running this duo really for Nick Van Exel. You're running the duo for James Posey. And it's kind of crazy that we're running something specifically for James Posey, who, honestly, guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I like his release, but he is a role player. James Posey's not going to just go out there on the court and drop 100 points. You know, he might chip in 7 points and play good defense, but he is a role player. So, you know, giving this duo to James Posey is kind of troll. But the thing is, Nick Van Exel is solid as well. So this duo definitely does make the lineup. Plugged in the middle there at the shooting guard position. This is where we're really going to spend our MT. We're plugging in Kelly Tripucka. Now, have I personally used Kelly? No, because I hate spending MT on cards that I mean I don't need, right? I've got plenty of other guys that can do what Kelly can do. Now, why do I like Kelly? 83 3-ball, decent speed, decent lateral quickness. He's similar to Mike Miller, although he's not quite as tall, but he has better defensive stats. So it really kind of is preference based. But when you look at his shooting badges, absolutely even has some of those defensive badges. Has the Andre Drummond release, which I don't know exactly this year, but historically has been pretty solid in my team. I just don't see many downsides of Kelly Tripucka. From top to bottom as a Sapphire, good hot spots, good badge count, gonna be a pure sharp. And honestly, guys, pure sharps right now in my team are kind of the name of the game, right? Mike Miller, nearly impossible to guard. Devin Booker is really good because his release is absolutely elite as well. I mean, it really is so dependent on the releases more than nearly anything. But I think with Kelly, with Mike Miller, they both have really solid releases. At the power forward position, we're plugging in Giannis Antetokounmpo, but not the Ruby. We're plugging in Sapphire Giannis. Now, I want to show you guys something because a lot of people are going to be like, Ty, you are crazy. Now, I just want to show this to you guys. Is there a big difference between this Giannis and this Giannis? Yes. Okay, there is a big difference. But is the Sapphire Giannis still decent, still playable? Yes. And why? Because of his badge count. He's got 36 base badges. The Ruby Giannis only has 37 base badges. Now, I know more silvers, more gold, stuff like that. But really, the only difference I see here is really the 3-ball and the speed. Outside of that, like defensively, there's not that much of a difference. Like there's a difference, but it's not that big. I just feel like Giannis is still going to be Giannis. The cold zones do hurt. Not going to shoot the ball nearly as good as the Ruby Giannis. But I feel like this Sapphire Giannis still has to play for you, given he has basically every defensive badge in the entire game. At the center position, rounding things up, not a card I love, but we're plugging in the same face, new plays, Kristaps Porzingis. Now, why am I plugging in this Kristaps over the other one? It really just comes down to the badges. I really think it's that simple. Because when you look at the stats, there's really not much difference. Now, rebounding does matter this year. I'll be the first to tell you those stats do matter. That is important. Midi goes up as well. Hot spots get better. No cold zones from the midi. And again, 10 silver badges compared to 3 bronze badges. Now, badge-wise, what do you give him? Well, better catch, shoot, better claymore, clutch shooter, quarter specialist, guard up. Give him some interior badges, including rise up, which is a big badge, as well as post playmaker, which in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, is a really underrated badge. I think Post Playmaker is one of those badges that nobody's really gonna guess and nobody's really gonna talk about it too much, but it is an important badge when it comes down to a post. Because if you get an offensive rebound, kick it out for a 3, that Post Playmaker is basically kind of a diamond, right? It's just so much easier to shoot with it than without it in general. So KP rounding things up here at that backup center position. And this is the 10-man squad that I'm going out there with, guys. A lot of people might be like, what, Ty, this 10-man squad is going to get absolutely dogged. What if you come up against Shaq? Well, if I come up against Shaq, I'm probably putting Sapphire Giannis or even the Emerald KP on him and just trying my luck. Even Rafe, I mean, probably going to get torched, but that's something. Look, you'll give up 2s, maybe foul Shaq a few times, and get 3s on the other end, force turnovers, stuff like that. That's how you're going to win games against a Shaq type of beast. That's going to wrap it up for my 100K squad builder today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.